Mr. Schneider, how did the world economy perform in September, and what does the DBIX tell us about it?
The DBIX remained unchanged at 0.4. So there is some stabilization, but at a very, very low level, and that can be seen from the comparison of the level we saw last spring when it was still 1.5. So what we are expecting now is, at least in industrialized economies, a so-called growth recession, meaning that yes, there might be 1 or 2 negative quarters. It might not be an outright recession, but it will feel like a recession.
Mm-hmm. And the reason is Greece, and the economy there is struggling with huge problems. What will be solved maybe the next days? What do you think? Is it the solution to have a haircut for Greece?
Yeah. I mean, there are more problems in Greece, but Greece is the most prominent one right now. And I think there is more and more hints that, we will not go on further with just paying the bill for Greece. So the haircut is under discussion, and I wouldn't be surprised if we have a more substantial haircut than the 20% which are currently discussed further down the road.
So what do you think? How big will it be, the haircut?
I mean, if one wants to have a sustainable debt level, I think one has to aim for 50%.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's jump over to the US. The Purchasing Manager Index there gives some reason for hope.
Yes, I mean, everyone expected after a pretty weak number in August that it would drop below the 50 boom-bust level. Instead, it gained 1 point to stand at 51.6 by now. But still, it's a relatively weak level. But there are some rays of hope, especially with regard to the labor market. And also, we have seen that the labor market actually performed somewhat better in September. That previous months were revised slightly higher. But overall, I don't think that we'll really see the turnaround of the labor market given the overall global economic outlook.
Mm-hmm. And in Japan, the indicators are heading towards south. Why?
I mean, it's first of all, Japan is obviously closely interlinked with the global economy. Then Japanese exporters are hurt by the very strong yen, and this is having an impact on all the kind of leading indicators. Although we don't expect that Japan will actually fall into a recession, mainly due to the fact that there is major investment coming to rebuild the destructions related to the tsunami catastrophe from spring this year.
Mm-hmm. Let's come back to Europe, to Germany. The Business Climate Index of the IFO Institute is measuring the mood in the German economy. What does it tell us about the German economy?
It dropped again, but only by 1.2 points compared to 4.1 in the previous month. So it seems at least that the slide has been stopped to a certain extent, at least the momentum of the slide. But if we look at the future expectation component, which continued to deteriorate, especially at the export outlook, it doesn't really look well. And we are seeing that German exporters are increasingly pinched by the weaker economic environment globally.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.